Hello and welcome to another episode of Ankle Sore. If you're liking the channel, go ahead, hit that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that button too. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you get an alert when a new episode drops. Let's get into it. What do we want to talk about?
Well,
you're going to leave me alone. You know, every time we do an episode, you're doing my head in.
He's wearing an Adelaide Crows t-shirt.
the Adelaide Crows.
He's wearing an Adelaide Crows t-shirt.
Is that Adelaide Crows, is
What's
it?
the
Black Crows.
The Black
Right.
Crows.
By the way, Black Crows, two of the best albums of the 90s. People have a listen to Amorica and Southern Harmony. If you
Wasn't
really
it
want to
Remedy
know.
or there was another
Remedy
song?
was the hit.
Remedy was a hit, yeah.
Remedy was
That's
a hit.
Adelaide Crows
It is,
almost
isn't it?
colours,
How
isn't
fun
it?
is that?
You know, honestly,
When I looked at it, I thought he's wearing an
honestly,
Adelaide
honestly,
Crows
Stu, I didn't
jersey.
even think of that. You're right. It's actually,
That's bizarre.
it is bizarre when you think about it.
Is it like a tour shirt from
How
Adelaide
many-
or something?
No, it's just their official,
Okay.
like an official shirt.
And it's got the two black crows,
Correct.
the
crow.
cartoons.
Heckle and Jekyll.
Heckle and is
Oh, is that
Heckle
who
and
it is?
Jekyll?
I think they had similar.
Oh, I don't
similar
know.
With the cross-eyed.
No, but weren't
It
they
is.
Mexican black crows or something?
Mire, grasshopper, grasshopper, grasshopper. Mira que gran chapulín.
Were they? Yes.
Yeah, Mexican black crows.
They were. They had the accent. Anyway, Black Crows. Another.
Not to be confused with Counting Crows
Yeah, no.
or Cheryl Crow
No, these are not the.
or Martin Crow or
Or
Jeff Crow.
one flew over
Yeah.
the cuckoo's
Any
nest.
other crows?
Yeah, Max Crow.
Max Crow.
Max
Oh,
Crow. Wasn't there an Max Crow? Was an actor called Crow? Russell Crowe?
Russell, an actor. He won an Oscar,
That's what I
didn't he?
mean.
What about the movie Crow?
The movie Crow?
The
Yeah,
Crow?
the movie Crow with, what's his name?
Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee. Any other
Jeez.
crows?
That's it.
Come on, you've got to give us one crow.
I tried. You're just too quick for me.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right,
enough music.
Let's go and talk about Paddy Dangerfield, Andrew.
I'm scared.
Deep breath.
So, Paddy Dangerfield, just before you go on with it, he wants shorter quarters. And how did this come about, this conversation?
You're happy with it before you start. You're happy with it.
It's not about shortening the quarters. I think they should stay at 20. But I'm annoyed with 35-minute quarters and 15 minutes of time on. It's the time on. And I'm actually taking it's the time on I want lowered, not the 20 minutes of playing time.
Okay.
But okay.
So,
But Paddy Dangerfield, go.
this clown, right, and he's a dangerous clown, right?
Pardon the pun.
Because
He is dangerous. I agree with you.
no, he's dangerous because he's the head of the Players Association,
Yeah.
right? So when he speaks, the AFL go, "Ooh, Paddy's speaking," right?
Correct.
So this clown wants to shorten the game for one reason, so he can play another 5 years.
Yeah, he's not
right?
stupid, is he?
It's pretty selfish.
I've got solutions for you, Patrick. We'll shorten the 15 minutes, but you're playing 38 games a year, mate.
That's right.
Everyone's playing everyone twice, okay?
Yep.
That's it, 38. And when they come in, or 36 games or whatever it is, when Tasmania come in, you're playing everyone twice. You can shorten the game, but you're playing everyone twice.
Or-
Simple as that. Or you take a pay cut.
That's
mate.
what I was going to say. Exactly what I was going to say.
How about you halve your wage? Or if you want to take a quarter of your wage. But you would not do that, would you? You just want everything for Paddy Dangerfield. The quicker you retire from football, so you can't be head of the AFL Players Association, or can you be?
I don't know.
I thought you had to have a representative that's actually playing.
Perhaps.
Hopefully that's the case.
I can't.
The quicker he retires, the better it is for AFL football. I'm telling you, because he's going to do things and they're going to listen. That's the problem.
Yeah.
The AFL listen.
Because he wants to... Sorry, go.
I was going to say, just before you, the time on thing, I get what you're saying. I
Yeah.
get that. But if they're having 15,000 ball ups a game and the ball goes out of bounds every 2 seconds.
So that's the other problem. There was a
Right.
discussion during the week about
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ball ups, right? So what happens at the ball ups now? We've got nominated, right?
That's-
So they get it. Max, who's going up?
Yeah.
5 seconds are gone. If you have 50 ball ups, that's a lot of time. You can do the maths on that, right? That's a lot of extra time, wasted time, right?
Correct.
So take out that stupid rule. If a second play goes up, it's a free kick against
That's all.
you straight away.
Hang on. Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, horsey.
Why can't a third player come up? It's
That's
the
another
tactic.
thing.
No, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
But if you want to keep the
Why are
rule,
they stopping that?
no, but if you want to keep the rule, if a third player goes up, it's a free kick.
That's true.
Don't wait
Yep.
for the ruckman to come. That's up to you.
Yeah, he's saying the right thing
They're
too.
so organised, footballers, right?
So what-
they can't even.
I was just thinking, like, what are you saying? Like, say, repeat that again.
No. So
say that again.
I'm saying. So you've got extra. You know, you're talking about time. The time
Yeah.
continues. So we've got 20 minutes actual playing time because it stops for stupid reasons,
It
right?
does.
Ball's up, it stops. And then they go, rightio, start the clock. Who's going up? Who's going up? The boundary umpire looks back and goes,
Oh, that does my head.
what are you waiting for, right? So take out the nomination, so all these things.
So you're saying, and I agree, if this is what I'm thinking you're saying, just 2 players go up.
Yep.
Doesn't matter who they are.
Yep.
They don't have to nominate, but whoever the third player is,
Gets penalised.
that's fine with
Or,
me.
Yeah.
I like your rule, just keep it as it was, mate. Third play goes up, he
Oh,
does.
I
Adam
agree.
Simpson and Anthony Stevens were brilliant at that
Yeah.
in the 90s. And I just saw that a lot because I was a North, like watching all North.
Yeah.
But geez, how good at the third man.
Yeah, they
It was
were.
a ploy, it was a tactic.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway.
But anyway, that's...
Well, I can't understand why in the 80s and 70s and 90s, 70s, 80s, I said in different order, we had 30-minute quarters. We had 25 minutes in time on. We
because
still had
there's-
30-minute quarters.
Because there's none of this...
And we had high scoring.
Go and get... Yeah, I agree.
Oh, yeah, but that's not
But
gonna go
also,
there.
there's one thing that people forget. So during COVID, we had 45-second
Yeah.
breaks, and that was to appease because the games were a little bit shorter. So they made
Mm-hmm.
the commercial breaks 45 seconds, right? They haven't taken that back. It's still 45 seconds.
Yep.
You mentioned it last year, I think,
I
right?
showed it to
so
you.
for better games, it's 45
showed it to
seconds.
you.
For crapper games, it's 30 seconds. Let's take that away.
So-
That's time also because the
agree.
time's still going.
And the breaks. So for the big matches, the big important matches, the halftime breaks were like 20 minutes. For the lesser games,
17 minutes or
it
something,
was
is it?
17 or 15. Oh, it's a fact. Quarter time breaks were 6, but in the big games it was 7.5.
Yeah.
Because they want their product in commercials sold in the bigger games.
Correct.
And that's fine, but then you got this muppet saying he wants to shorten the game. How about you take some of that revenue out and the players get more money? I don't understand.
Anyway, moving on. George Wardlaw injury. Is his career in jeopardy already? He's played 26 out of a possible 46 games. Looks to be out for the first half of the year.
I wouldn't go as far as saying it's his career.
How do you
in
feel
jeopardy.
about him?
No, look, disappointing. Don't get me wrong. You know, poor George. I love him. You know that.
Poor George.
Right? You know I love him.
Yeah.
Right? But I wouldn't go to the point of saying is his career in jeopardy. But look, if the next 3 years he starts to have 2 or 3 like pre-season getting these hamstrings, then you start talking about he's 23, 24, what's going on. I agree. But early on, I know what he thinks. Why is he getting these injuries so early on
He's
in his
20 years
career?
old. He's had 2 years where he's been injury prone already.
But he was
like.
injured at his under 18 level.
Yeah, I know,
North
so-
drafted him as an injured
Yeah,
player.
you said
Yeah.
that. You told me
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
go, he's got. Did
So-
you say he had
He had
soft tissue
injuries,
problems?
yeah. He always had them.
So that's
Took
a
him on with that.
That's a problem, isn't it? Like that's why is his career in jeopardy?
Well,
Well, it's not-
Potentially.
I don't think.
What's
it
your
is.
opinion?
I don't think it's in jeopardy, but geez, they want to send him to Germany. Oh, they go
I
there
know
and
you
they
mean those-
fix all these hamstrings up, and they're pretty good. Like, is it time now? He's done like half a
A
dozen.
lot.
yeah, it's
Well,
probably time.
you know,
yeah.
that was 2
Sort
minutes.
it out.
That was 2 minutes into the pre-season game, Mike.
That's right.
He's gone out to. I saw it. He's gone. Did you see he went to lunge a handball or something?
Yeah, that's when you do it too,
He's got
when
up
tackling
proppy.
and lunging.
He's got up proppy.
If it was a lesser type player, you'd be just like, all right, that's a shame. But he's a player that's.
Yeah, they've invested a lot in him
That's
already.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
fair
right. That's right. And this is yours. Do we need full-time umpires? You've been on this all year.
1 trillion %.
Why?
Because they still can't get it right.
What's happened for you to bring it up
No,
in
no,
February?
it's just-
You're already on the umpires back in
No,
February.
because
Has the ball been
Ball has
bounced?
been
no, it
bounced.
hasn't. Yeah, but you know what's going to happen as soon as the first game. Oh, the umpires don't know what they're doing. They give away free. So again, I get back to the point where if you're working a full-time job, like most of them do, and then in your spare time you're an AFL umpire, how can you possibly go interpretations when the AFL, and they do it all the time, change interpretations of rules? Oh, we're not going to pay this. We're not going to pay that. Wouldn't it be like, a 5-6 day week thing, or a 4 day week thing, like a full-time
He's
thing?
got a point.
Is that going to improve
Yeah, it
the
should.
hardest game in the world
No,
to umpire?
it should. Well, okay. So there's professionals in most other professional sports, umpires, right? So if we're that hard, and I agree, it's hard to umpire, why don't we have professionals?
Yeah, that's right.
Why
Even
do we
more
have
reason.
part-timers?
that's
Even
true.
more reason to do it, right? And I'm sorry, AFL, money's not an issue here. Like, we're not talking
Can't.
$100 million to get
Nah.
full-time. We're talking maybe an extra $10 million. You can get someone to sponsor them. They already do. Get someone to sponsor their shorts. That'll be,
True.
Give me a
True.
spell.
So I reckon we do.
What about staying out of the corridor and umpiring from, like most games, on the sidelines? I'm not talking sitting on the sidelines, but umpires just running up and down, looking inwards,
like the NFL.
and keep constantly moving backwards, not forwards with the game.
Maybe.
like the NFL and run with, I don't know.
But again, that takes time. That's my point. Coaching, right? So if you're spending
Seymour
6 hours a week, training, you can't do all that.
It's not going to cost you. He's right. It's not going to cost you $1 squillion. It's not going to even hurt the AFL to go, right, we're going full time.
But yet, teams miss finals and lose games because of umpiring. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Absolutely, we need to have full-time umpires.
Yep, totally agree.
Oscar Allen potentially leaving West Coast for Brisbane, who's the current West Coast captain. What do you think of players leaving clubs as captains? There's been a couple of famous ones. Lee Colbert to North Melbourne.
Yes.
There was Ryan Griffin, Western Bulldogs to
I forgot about that one, Ryan Griffin. Forgot about that one.
Okay.
Do you remember one?
Alex Jeslinko is probably the biggest one because he was captain coach in '79. They won the premiership.
Yeah.
And then he went to St Kilda the next year.
They must have
That's
been
massive.
paying him.
Yeah, but there was a big.
Mike Brass of that.
Yes, I know. There was a big Carlton issue with presents and all that sort of stuff.
That's right. It was Harrison. And
Yeah. So, but that's a big
whoever
call for
came in.
captain coach, not just
massive.
captain.
And Jeslinko was, he was the biggest name at the time.
At the time, yeah.
My opinion, I don't like it. I don't like it. The simple reason is they've given you a responsibility and obviously think you're the one that's going to take this club forward, or you're the one that is going to look after the rest of these blokes. You're in charge of them when you're captain, pretty much, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
To just turn around and go, I'm going, I don't like it.
Is it just Brisbane, like the Matt Riel we spoke last week? Is it just Brisbane testing the waters? Number two, I have a question to both of you.
You're asking me
do you like clubs approaching players during the season?
No
That's fine.
problem.
I think we've got to get better at that.
Yeah, we need to wake up.
I
We
don't
need
care
to-
about that so much. That's fine. That's just sport and that's footy and whatever, but that is a different ball game, I think, a little bit.
So, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Lee Colbert was traded to North.
Correct.
Cameron Mooney went to Geelong.
Yeah, right.
That's incredible.
So,
I think Kent Kingsley might have been in that deal, but I could be
quite
wrong.
possibly,
And packet of Tim Tams.
And Tim
Yeah,
Tams.
yeah.
And a bag of old footies.
that too. Ryan Griffin also, I think, got...
Can't remember that trade.
Well,
Oh, no, it happened.
Tom Boyd.
I was Boyd involved in it.
Yeah,
He was too, yes.
So they kind of pushed them out to get what they thought were better players, right?
Yep.
As for them leaving, same thing, isn't it? If a club can push
course.
you out, like what's...
No, if you leave versus getting pushed out.
Yeah, that's a different ball game. Hang on. I'm talking about if you just get up and go and going.
Yeah,
so if
no,
Luke
that's
McDonald
right.
leaves, he was North's captain. If Luke McDonald left North,
You go with my blessing.
you'd be wrapped. I know you'd
Yeah,
be
but
wrapped.
what I'm saying is, this is a different. I'll tell you
If he
why.
went to Gold Coast for 4 years,
If they said to him, if North, he's going to be on the outer at North. Let's be honest, he's not going to get a game every week, right? So if they Gold Coast say, look, you're going to play every week, this and that, because you probably get a game more than what he will at North right now, I reckon, at Gold Coast. I've got no issue with that. But to get up and just go, as in, like, just a link after, I know it's going back, but like, that's massive.
Yeah.
That just
That's
shows
why it
me.
doesn't happen very often.
yeah. So, all right.
Isn't it?
Let me put it to you this way.
Touch one. It's a tough one.
If you were on 700 grand and you had 3 years to go on your contract and your club wasn't going to pay you any extra, another club said, we're going to give you 1.5, would you leave?
I can buy
as
more,
captain.
I can buy more rock t-shirts.
Yeah, you could.
What would you do? Would you leave?
You'd have to look. It
So
it just depends what money you're talking to.
Oh, double. 700 to 1.5, double.
Oh, well, yeah.
Wow.
And your normal.
We're talking
normal
about
human-
money. What about...
No, but that's my point.
Yeah.
Like,
All right.
there shouldn't be any loyalty anymore. We're past that, aren't we?
True.
Like, to a
That's
point.
fair. That's fair.
Like, you play for the club and you do everything for the club. But
Yeah, I know.
at the end of the day, at the end of the season, you got to look around and...
If it's true about St Kilda's offer to De Coney, if that stuff starts really happening, then it doesn't matter if you're captain or not. I mean, what was that offer during the week that the rumour was?
Something like $12 million for 7 years.
12 million for 7
And
years.
same with LDU, something
which
like
is-
that.
You did the working out on 12 million for 7
What
years.
is it? 1
6 or 7.
No, something
around
like that.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
it's ridiculous.
That is 9% of a club's salary cap on a ruckman. St Kilda have got nuts in there.
Oh, we know that. We know that. Or I know that anyway.
I mean, there are, you'd be paying money for someone else other than a ruckman.
Yeah,
wouldn't you,
of
for that
course.
much
Yeah,
Of course
that's
you
right.
So I've got a
Bugbear?
I've got a bugbear.
Ooh.
There's an Indigenous game next
week.
week, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I was just
love it.
saying, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
believe me.
they're playing Freo. All the clubs in Indigenous players are involved.
Mm-hmm.
So great! Can't wait to see it. I think it's a great idea, which led me to my thoughts of if every player in the country can gather around and play in an exhibition game, which is what a practice match
That's what it
is.
is.
Correct.
Then why can't we play State of Origin in February?
Yeah, that's a great point. No, I actually agree with you. Yeah.
So, like in this game, I think anyone that plays in that is exempt from another game because the AFL.
yeah, and that's fair enough.
So you
yeah.
play your exhibition game practice match for
Yep.
the Indigenous. I think what are they called? Indigenous All-Stars.
All-Stars, yeah.
So why can't they do that like with Victoria, South Australia, and have a carnival of some sort?
Yeah,
There's
love it.
6 states. You could, there's 140 players that could play.
Potentially.
Victoria could pull 2 sides, and
Yeah,
this is not
maybe,
being.
yeah.
It's just to allow. And I've got a theory on that as well.
Of course, yeah.
So you could have 2 Victorian sides because there's 10 sides, and you can divide them into the East and the West players.
I like
So
the
there are
NBA.
5 sides
love
in the
it.
West.
Love it already.
Geelong, Western Bulldogs, Essendon, North Melbourne, and Carlton. You could have that as
Yep.
one Victorian
Love
side.
it.
Yeah,
So
love
you
it.
could
That's
pull
a great
guys from
idea.
there.
Love
and
it.
then the other Victorian side would be the eastern suburbs.
Yep, love it.
Which is Richmond, St Kilda, Melbourne, Collingwood, Hawthorn.
Yep, love it. Love it.
So, and the 2 teams aren't playing against each other because Victoria will play WA and the other Victorian side will
Yeah,
play.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so it'd be just Victoria. It's not Victorian blue, Victoria.
Nah,
West
no.
Victoria
It's not
and East
Victoria.
Victoria.
No, well, yeah.
Maybe,
Well,
yeah.
you can,
It's
whatever,
not Victoria
whichever way.
A or
No,
Victoria
it's
B.
East and
or,
West, yeah.
It's
I love
just Victoria
it.
playing WA in
Love
that
it.
game, and Victoria playing, and then the Indigenous team still plays. Right, they've got a side.
Yeah, that'd be.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
great.
That'd be
Then
good.
they'll play. The third game will be against the Allies, which will come from Queensland,
Mixed,
New South
yeah.
Wales, Tasmania, and they would play. So Vic WA, Vic SA, and the
Yep.
Indigenous versus the Allies.
Okay,
everyone in Australia plays. All up or worked out, there'd be 150 players that could play in this one-off weekend carnival.
Okay, so my question to you is that's great what you've said. I'd love it, but this Indigenous All Stars Free, like I said, it's exhibitions, a bit of a run around.
It is.
But if you start to do this state-to-state thing, it's become a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
Do players throw themselves a little bit harder because they look at it and go, mate, I don't want to lose to
Possibly.
WA.
Is that
I'm
bad?
Just
Is that bad?
well,
No, but
do you want to see Touchwood? Do you want to see Josh Simpkin do his knee in the game next
Do
week?
you want to see Josh Simpkin do it in any practice
No,
match?
of
Even if
course
North
not.
Melbourne was playing Melbourne, he did
look,
his knee.
yeah,
No.
It's still a game of footy. It's still exhibition. It's still a
True.
hit out.
They're going to go a bit harder, aren't they?
possibly.
Well, your mileage varies depending on how you feel about it. But you're
100%.
right,
Yeah,
I
that's
get
true.
it. But then why can't these Indigenous and Freo blokes, when they're playing each other, they're going to go hard
Yeah,
too?
possibly.
Yeah, I
Look,
agree.
now,
So you keep the Indigenous stuff, but
yeah, no,
It'd be
I
great.
agree. I don't give a stuff about State of Origin, but with that,
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Indigenous game happening, I agree that maybe we should look at the right. And I don't know about every state playing because that's a lot of players, right? They can get. This is only 2 teams, right? So
Yeah.
kind of narrows it down a bit. Like
Yeah.
if one player gets injured,
I
there's
get
one or
it.
2 players from each team, right? So I like the idea, and if we're gonna, maybe look into it, like we could. Maybe you should write a little dossier and send it to the AFL.
next weekend, and I get what you're saying, but
Yeah.
next weekend, Indigenous versus Freo,
Hmm.
there's still going to be 150 players playing practice matches.
No,
You
I
just
know.
draw
Yeah.
them in to play,
Yeah.
and the TV could go. And look, you know what? You don't have to have it at the MCG. You could play these games wherever, Perth, Darwin. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be at
Yeah.
the MCG or in Melbourne or in Victoria.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. No, I like it. I
I
just
don't mind it. No, it's good.
The imagination of State of Origin.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it.
And we'll stay on the interstate or origin agenda. Tasmania, are they getting a team? Is it happening? Is the stadium getting
I
built?
saw yesterday on the news that Brendan Gale's in full flight, mate.
He was horrendous in the way he was trying to
He's
sell
trying to sell
Tasmania.
it to
I know,
He
but what
was
I'm,
horrendous.
I'm not. Yeah, but I'm saying he looks like he's in full flight doing his thing. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, but
Whether-
Vito-
how bad or good he is, I don't know. But
But Vito, supposedly, there's no team without a stadium.
Really?
nah, they
The
can still
AFL's
play their games.
They got 2
Hang
stadiums.
on, but the AFL said, "Hey, you build a stadium, we'll put a team there." They haven't even put
They haven't put a shovel
anything
in the
into
dirt.
the soil.
But
at all.
we don't know what happens behind closed doors. What I'm saying is they could say, yeah, we're going to do it. We're behind schedule, but we're happy to play it initially
All right.
at blah, blah, blah.
All right.
Bell
So
Reef.
I think, there's going to be a ground.
Okay.
Maybe it's not going to be in time.
And look, they could share it. They could play 5 at Launceston
Yeah,
and 5
no
at
problem.
Hobart.
But 2028, they're meant to be coming in, right? So in 3 years' time.
Is it 27 or 28?
28.
Oh, I hope it's not 27 because.
That's
So
28.
how long do you reckon it takes to build a stadium? Just out of curiosity, like
How long?
10 years,
10
No.
years. They
Five-
built Marvel in,
5 to 10 years.
No.
How
I don't
long?
know, tell us out there. I reckon
2 years?
Any builders?
2 or 3 years.
2 or 3 years.
Well, Marvel, when was
2 or 3 in Australia,
well, Marvel was built in
in
well, the
Tasmania.
Docklands.
There's more
Mate,
tradies in Melbourne.
Rome
than,
was built in the day. Are you serious?
No,
You can't
Rome
build a
wasn't built in a
stadium.
day.
Of course.
Hello, Rome wasn't built
Yeah,
in
I
a
know
day,
that.
Vito.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah, that's the saying. That's
It
the
wasn't.
saying. He's right.
It wasn't
I've
built
just
in a
been
day.
stupid.
All
But
roads lead to Rome. There's another one of that.
All those, okay.
2 to 3 years, in my opinion, I'm staggered.
I don't
5 to
know.
10 years.
I wouldn't have thought it would have taken more than
What?
Have you driven in the city lately? Have you
Yeah,
seen the
I have.
construction?
It's
How long that
ridiculous.
takes? Yeah, how long it takes to build? Okay.
Yeah, that's because of union and
Oh, well, so
strike and
who's going to
crap.
build that?
I don't know who's going to build it.
Yeah,
but
are
I'm
you gonna
telling
build
you, I'll
No.
give me a crack. I'll
I'll be
build it.
staggered 5 to 10 years staggered.
Look, you're probably right about the stadium,
No, I
but I
just-
think Tassie's coming in no matter what.
Yeah, it's it.
And it'll be like the Brisbane Bears that played out
All right.
of
Okay.
where they play for years.
Yeah, exactly. Carrara.
Carrara
Out
and the
of
Gold
Tin
Coast.
Sheds.
Out of tin
and how'd that
sheds.
go? How'd Gold
They've got
Coast
no
go
choice.
when they trained down at the local park?
No, yeah, I
That's
agree.
my point. My point is, what are you doing, AFL?
Yeah, but they've got
Are
two
you gonna
beautiful stadiums in Tassie. It's
Yeah, it's not like they've got nothing. I agree.
Yeah,
but
I
there's
agree.
7 to 10,000 stadiums. They're looking at 35,000 there, right? So they can have people.
Apparently, they've got memberships humongous.
Yeah, I'm a member.
$10 member. Yeah, he's a
I'm
member.
a member.
I'm just saying.
$10 members.
Got a sticker?
Yeah.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah, I got a sticker for my bumper bar.
Did you stick it on
Up
there?
next to Up Yours.
Up yours, Oakley. Yeah, remember that?
Nice.
Anyway, I reckon they're a mile behind you. I don't know. I don't know
I
what's going to
agree.
happen.
I agree. They're a mile behind.
No,
The team will be playing round 1, 2028.
We'll soon see.
Let's
we'll soon
see. I'm sceptical. But anyway.
There you have it, another episode of Ankle Sore in the books. Let us know in the comments what you think, and we'll see you in the next one.